Let's see how we can make a complete animation using Adobe Flash. So first I'm going to select ActionScript 2.0. So this is the typical welcome screen of the Adobe Flash. So here I'm going to select ActionScript 2.0. Once you click it, you can see the software window. So here we have the stage and we have the timeline and with the properties and the toolbar here. Here we have the toolbar. So then first create a frame by frame animation quickly. So let me rename the name of the layer as frame by frame, frame by frame, press enter, and here you can see there's an empty keyframe. So I'm going to click on this and go and pick the shape tool, this one. Again click here and you can select a oval tool and come over here and draw a oval. So I'm going to make a little animation frame by frame. Then going to select the line tool and draw something like this. Alright, I'm going to save. Control S to save. And here I will save it as example 1 and press enter. So I have this one. Now I'm going to go to the frame by frame animation layer and click inside the second box over here, empty frame. So again right click and going to select insert keyframe. So this will get a copy of the first frame entire object and create an exact replica. So in this second frame I'm going to slightly adjust the lines. So I'm going to select the sub selection tool, this one. I'm going to click here and again click. Okay, now I can adjust it like this, sub selection. So then I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to save, control S to save. And now if I go to the first one, you can see it's like this. And if I go to the second frame, it's slightly change like this. So I'm going to repeat it several times. So go here and click here, right click, add insert keyframe and do the same for the other limbs also like this. And again add a one, insert keyframe and change this one also using the sub selection tool. And the last one, click here, right click and go to insert keyframe and I'm going to shift it. So I'm going to use the free transform tool, draw it like this, and I'm going to use the arrow keys to shift it a little bit. So that's it. I'm going to save, control S to save. Now if I play it, control enter to play, you can see it imitates a motion like it's jumping. Alright, so let me slow it. So how to slow? You can change the frame rate. So now currently it's 24 frames per second. I'm going to change it to 12 FPS or frames per second. Now I'm going to run it. Control and enter. Now we can see the frame by frame animation. So now let's move on to the other type of animation. So the other type is it's shape twins. Shape twins, and for the shape twins we have two types. We have shape twin on a shape and other one is shape twin on a text. So first let's see how to add a shape twin on a shape. So let me delete this frame by frame, delete. So here since you have only one layer you can't delete it, so I'm going to now delete it, it's fine. So I'm going to change it as shape twin on shape. So here what we can do is first we can remove the frames, we can empty the frames, clear the frames. How to do that? Just click somewhere here and don't release your mouse click, come all the way to the first frame. Then right click, then select remove frames. Now it's a new one. So then click here, and you should have a page or frame to draw something. So give the insert blank keyframe. Now you are good to go. Now you can insert a shape. So let me insert a shape. So I'm going to change this oval to a rectangle. So I'm going to change the color. So how to change the color? Here click this box and select the color, and you can draw the shape like this. And now I'm going to go somewhere here to 15 and right click and give the option insert blank keyframe. Right, now I'm going to click here again and select the rectangle and draw a rectangle like this. So I need to transform the oval to the rectangle. Okay, now I'm going to click on the layer, then here come here, right click and give create what? Shape create shape. So if I give this one and try, Control is to save and zoom out and test, Control enter. Here you can see it's changing. So that is the shape twin on a shape. Now we can experiment the shape twin on a text. So let me add a new layer like this, and I can hide it, otherwise delete it. Let me delete, and same like before, click somewhere here, click and hold and come to the first layer and right click and give the option remove frames. Now click inside the first frame here, right click and give insert blank keyframe. Now let's add a text. So I'm going to click this text tool, this one, and here I'm going to type hello, hello, and save. So how to change the font? You can go to the free transform. So come here and you can make it bigger. Now again go to free transform and you can, not free transform, go to the selection tool and you can change the place. So now before adding another keyframe, go to the text options. Not the text option, go to modify and here go to not that, go to text. So check whether you have a command called break apart. Break apart. So it's not there. So let me click here again and go click on this frame and go to the modify. Okay, now I have break apart. If I click this, here you can see some vertical lines has appeared. Again go back to the modify and press break apart. Now we can see some dots have appeared. Now we are good to go. Now save. Now zoom out and go to the last frame where you need to stop. So I'm going to go to 20, right click and give insert blank keyframe. Now go back to the text. So I'm going to type here good morning, good morning, and going to go and select the transform tool, free transform, and make it big. All right, now what? Now go to the selection tool, go to the modify and select break apart. Again go to modify, select break apart. Okay, now what to do? Just click on the layer, right click and give create motion twin. No, create shape twin. So we are using the shape twins. No, now if I run it, you can see it's transforming from good hello to good morning. That's it. So we have learned about three types of twins, and here we have the last uh, we have the motion twin. So in the motion twin, it's not going to transform, but it will travel from one place to the other. So let me add a layer here and delete the last one, this one. Okay, so I'm going to rename this layer as motion twin. So previously we have learned about shape twins, two types of shape twins, shape to shape, shape to text, and this is going to be the motion twin. So here the basic concept is a shape will move from one point to the other. So let me clear these frames. So select right click, remove frames, and go to the first one, click here, right click, and select insert blank keyframe. Now I'm going to add a oval and draw it here like this. And what to do? Now I will just right click on the frame and press create motion tween. So if I press it, uh, the selected item cannot be tweened. You must convert this to symbol in order to tween. Do you want to convert and create a tween? Yes. Press yes. Press OK. Alright. So it will done the job for us. Now what to do? Now go back and select the selection tool. Now here you can see some new frames have been added 1 to 10. So what to do now? So if you go to the first frame, nothing is changing. If you go to the last frame, nothing is changing. But here look. So if I drag it like this, you can see here dotted line. So if I save it and run, you can see it's going from point A to point B. So now using the sub selection tool, you can even edit the path. So how to edit the path? Just click somewhere here and you can drag it like this, or else select the layer, click on the frame you want to edit, and you can click like this and change, or else let's go and select the free transform. So anyway we can edit it. Okay, so you should use the selection tool. So if you go here, you can see it's changed into a curve. You can curve it, can change it. So if you want to edit from a specific frame, just click there, and now we can drag it using the, you can drag the object, no matter, like this. Then it will add a keyframe for you. So if you drag the object, it will add a keyframe here using the sub selection tool. So if you need to adjust here, so play it. So now I'm in the sub selection tool. Now if I drag it like this, it will add a keyframe. Yeah. Now if I want to play, it's playing perfectly. It's playing perfectly. So that's about the motion tween. And the last type of animation, we have the guide layer. So let me add a new layer and delete the older one and rename this as motion guide. Motion guide. So this is very interesting and type of animation. So here, so if you press the space key and drag, you can get the hand tool. So using the hand tool, you can change the page orientation. So now I'm going to again go to the selection tool, select all the frames, right click and press remove frames, and go and select the first one, and right click and go to the insert blank keyframe. Alright, now I'm going to add a again oval. So here you can use the control to draw a perfect oval, can we? Otherwise you can use the shift key. So alright, so I have this oval shape here. Now what to do? Now just right click on the shape and select convert to symbol, this convert to symbol, right? So make sure to select it as a movie clip, then press OK. Now what? Now just right click on the layer and you can give this one add classic motion guide. So once you click it, you can see a motion guide layer. So what to do now? Now you should click somewhere here in the, let me select the 20th frame. So before that, select this one and get the pencil, and here you can draw a path. So this is the path of the ball. Okay, now go to 20th frame, right click, and now give insert keyframe. No, sorry, insert frame. Insert frame. Right, now go to the motion guide, this original layer with the object here, and go here and right click and give insert keyframe. Okay, now just save, and what to do is come to the first frame. So here, first frame, and grab the selection tool and try to set this little oval, this little circle to the starting point of the line. This, now it's attached there, and go back to the last frame, and again go and select the selection tool and drag it, and here you can see a little small circle. Go and set it to the end. Now just select this layer, then right click and give the option create classic tween. Now it's show time. So if I press Ctrl plus enter, now it's working perfectly. So that's how you add a motion guide. So that is an interesting type of animation. So the last part, how to add action buttons. For the action buttons, you should use several layers. You can't achieve it within one layer. For that one, you should add multiple layers. So let's see how we can add 3 action buttons. So first of all, add a layer to the play button. So if I add a new layer, immediately rename it as the play button, play. So then I'm going to remove the frames, select all the way here, right click and go to remove frames, and click here, right click and insert blank keyframe. Now I'm going to add a play button. So I will prefer a green color rectangle. So I'm going to draw it somewhere here and change the color. How to change? Go and click the paint bucket and select the green color option. Now we have green color button. Now what? Go to the selection tool, right click here and select convert to symbol. From the drop down, you know what to select. Type, it's going to be a button. Then press OK. Now we are good to go. Now what? Now it's the time to write the code. So how to write the code? Just right click on the button and go to the option called actions. So in the actions, you can write the code for the action button. So let's see how to write the code. So it's easy. So now how to start? So you should type on and parentheses here release. So you can press enter and again open a pair of curly braces, come inside, then here, so the code is play, and here you can see it's suggesting and add a semicolon. So then save Control S and you should validate. So check this one. So in the background we can see any errors, no errors. So just close it. Now it's good to go. Go to the timeline again. Now go to the last frame and right click and give the option insert keyframe. So now if you play, it will repeat, but let's add a stop button and a reset button. So let me repeat the process. New layer, and this is going to be the stop button. Stop. Right, so repeat the process. So here I'm going to delete all these frames. Right click and go to remove frames. Select the first one, right click and give insert blank keyframe. Now I'm going to select a rectangle from here. For the stop button, I'm going to add a red color one. So red color, sorry, this red color rectangle. Okay, then right click and give convert to symbol. From the options, I'm going to select button. It's already selected. Press OK. Now come back, right click and go to the actions. So this is the stop button. So again the same code, on, then release and add curly braces, come back and type stop, and here you can see the code. Save and check it, no errors. So you can close it and come back to the timeline and go to the last frame and right click and give the option insert keyframe. Okay, now we can try it. So I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to test. Control Enter. So we have two buttons. So if I press red color, it's going to stop. If I press the green color, it's going to play. Right. So the third type of button is the reset button. So it will reset the animation. So how to add it? Add a new layer, rename it to reset. Then here, select from here to here, right click and give remove frames. Here, right click and give insert keyframe. Now what? So the reset button, we can add a text if you want. So let me add a text for different thing. So I'm going to type reset. Okay. So go to the selection tool. Right. So let me make it little bit visible using the free transform tool. Okay, that's it. Then right click and give convert to symbol. Now it's also a button. Okay, then again right click and go to actions. Now this time the code is a little bit different. On, then release. So here you should add this code. Go, go to and stop. So that is the code, and here you should add 0. Go to and stop. That's the code, and here you should add the 0. Now let's check whether it's correct or wrong. It's correct, so I'm going to close it and go to timeline, and here right click and give insert keyframe. So we have added all the three buttons. Now let's check whether it's working or not. Control Enter. Now if I press the stop button, it's fine. If I press the reset, it's going to go to the last point. So stop and play, or pause or play, play, pause, play, pause, reset, play, reset, play. Likewise, you can use the three types of buttons, and also you can add a mask. How to add a mask? So let me delete this motion guide, this one and this one, and add a just a motion tween, not a motion guide. I will add a motion tween. So let me add a new layer, and I just did like this. So here I'm going to add motion tween. So I will add a, so first select these frames and remove frames, and I'm going to add a new blank keyframe here. So click here, right click, you insert blank keyframe. Now I'm going to add an oval. So how to add oval? Just click here, select oval, you can use shift. Alright, so how to add a motion tween? Just right click and give create motion tween and press OK. Now you have a motion tween. So how to make it up to 20? Just click here, right click and give insert keyframe. uh, okay, insert frames not working. Insert keyframe should work, and here we will press all. Right, so now it's fine, right? So how to check it? So go here and click this one, select the selection tool and come back to the 20th frame. Now you should drag it like this. So we have discussed about this. So is it working? No. Okay, now it should work. Okay, now it's working, right? So if I play it, it should go from point A to point B. So how to add a mask? So let me add a layer on top of the motion tween. So I'm going to rename it as mask, mask 1, press enter. Now delete the frames here, click and drag, remove frames, add a blank keyframe, and here I'm going to draw a rectangle. So the concept of in Flash mask is this area. The area covered by the mask is only visible. So here I have one. So let me make it smaller. Can I make it smaller? Yes. So let me make it smaller. Okay, fine. Then save and just go to the selection tool, and I'm going to right click on the mask layer and select mask. So you can see the mask layer and this one is locked. Right, so now what to do? Now if I play it, control enter, uh, nothing happens, right? So what is happening is it's working in the first frame, but we should expand it to the 20th. So right click and give insert keyframe, and here, sorry, accidentally I have selected. Now it should be fine. So if I run it, here you can see the circle is entering from one end and exiting from the other end. So if you carefully see, it's the outlines of the mask layer which is hidden. So if I now run it, you can see TCD. Can you see it? Yes, here. This is the mask and the shape is traveling only inside the mask. It's visible. So that's it. So we have learned the frame by frame animations, the shape tween on shape, shape tween on text, and motion tween and motion guide. And finally, we have added the three action buttons. So that's it for the Flash tutorial.